Wildkat versus Casino, which one do you pick? Hey everyone, I'm Jack Fossett, and welcome to this Epiphone hollow body, semi-hollow body guitar shootout between a few really popular mid-level models. And when I say mid-level, I'm talking about budget here. This is the Epiphone Wildkat versus two different Epiphone Casinos. Now, I'll explain to you why I'm doing this shootout the way that I'm doing it, and why it's the Wildkat versus two different casinos as opposed to one. First of all, the reason for doing this shootout is because these are actually all priced exactly the same, and so many of you might be wondering which one do you get, which one suits your tonal needs and your style the best, which one should you spend your money on. Now, primarily I want to focus on the Wildkat versus the Casino Worn, which is the blue guitar. And the reason is because that is the most like your typical Epiphone Casino. It's a bigger body, it just has the same kind of tonal qualities, the same shape and feel qualities. The Casino Coupe, the smaller one, actually bridges the gap slightly in terms of size. It's a little bit closer to the size of the Wildkat. So here are some of the basic similarities and differences of the guitars. Obviously, the biggest similarities are going to be that they are hollow to a degree and have dog ear P90s. The big difference gets to the Wildkat, which is semi-hollow. It has a big block in the middle, whereas the Epiphone Casinos are entirely hollow. Also, the Wildkat does come with a Bigsby. Now, there are models that have not had Bigsbys. There's alternate models that had different names that are very similar without Bigsbys, and the casinos have done some limited runs with Bigsbys. But for the purposes of this video and for the generalization of it, most casinos don't have Bigsbys. Most casinos don't have Bigsbys, and Wildkats do. The Casino is going to be lighter, it's going to be a little bit airier, and it's going to be a little bit less aggressive. The Wildkat, with the Bigsby and the semi-hollow design, has a bit more sustain, a bit more snap, it's a little bit punchier. It's also actually a bit heavier. Even though it's a smaller body size, it sits a little bit heavier because of all that extra weight from both the center block and the Bigsby, whereas the Casino's a pretty light and comfortable guitar. Now, on the flip side, with the Worn, you have less access to the upper frets. This is the same with some of the other casinos as well. With both the Coupe and the Wildkat, you have great access to the upper frets. Now, you'll hear that tonally the Coupe is also a little closer to the Wildkat. The Worn definitely has more of that classic casino airiness. It's a little bit pluckier, it's a little bit softer sounding, a little softer on the attack. The Coupe adds a little punchiness and is a bit closer tonally to the Wildkat. I wouldn't say it's in the middle, I still think it's more of a casino tone, but it definitely bridges the gap somewhat. So today we are plugging into a Supro Delta King 12, and for my overdriven tones I'm using a Wampler Moxie. Please let us know in the comments, which guitar do you like the best? Now the Casinos have a bit more history with them, of course, with their use with the Beatles and other British invasion bands. A lot of people forget that Keith Richards had an Epiphone Casino, and in modern times it's also used by Gary Clark Jr. The Wildkat's kind of its own little beast. Did you see what I did there? And stylistically, it definitely plays to a different crowd. It kind of goes more to a slightly aggressive rock and roll crowd, whereas the Casino sort of uniquely, the Casino exists in its kind of own realm when it comes to players who are interested in it, what you can use it for, and all that sort of thing. So let us know which one you would choose. Please stick around for a comparison. Again, we're going to do a back-to-back comparison on neck, middle, bridge, both clean and overdriven. But for the overdriven parts of the middle and the bridge, I'm going to use the Coupe, whereas for the rest of it, I'm going to use the Warren. I'm Jack Fossett. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe. I hope you enjoy the rest of the video.